What's up everyone, welcome to Stockton. It's a pleasure to meet all of you. On this channel, we talk about stocks before they start blowing up, say goodbye to chasing stocks at all-time highs, and say hello to making some money. So if this sounds like something you want to take advantage of, then hit that beautiful subscribe button and like the video. Now let's get to it. Before we get into the video, I have to say that I'm not a financial advisor. Anything I say is just my opinion and is for entertainment purposes only. Having said that, if I'm talking about a company, I'll let you know whether I'm personally going to invest in it or not towards the end of the video. But you should always do your own due diligence, so with that out of the way, let's get started.
HUT8 have just announced their financial results for the year ended December 31st, 2020, and the results are pretty good. HUT8 fiscal 2020 earnings release 246% increase in working capital, 40.7 million in total revenue, and 87% year-over-year increase in net income. HUT8 also announces that as at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on March 24th, 2021, their Bitcoin balance was 3,233, a 17% increase from the December 2020 balance. Now, this is important because when you compare HUT8 with Riot, you'll find that HUT8 has way more Bitcoins on their balance sheet than what Riot does. And ultimately, as the price of Bitcoin continues to go up, HUT8's share price will catch up to Riot. HUT8 mined 2,798 Bitcoin in fiscal 2020 compared to 8,618 Bitcoin mined in fiscal 2019. The decrease was a result of Bitcoin price collapse in mid-March due to economic impacts of COVID-19 affecting all Bitcoin miners, as well as the Bitcoin halving event which occurred on May 11th, 2020, effectively cutting Bitcoin production for every miner in half. This isn't something that you should be too concerned about. The Bitcoin halving event impacted all mining companies. After the halving, the difficulty to mine Bitcoin went up, which is why they were only able to mine half the amount of Bitcoins in 2020 compared to 2019. This isn't of concern because, as I mentioned earlier, all mining companies were affected by this, and not to mention COVID-19. Now, another important highlight is that the expenses of 3.4 million in fiscal 2020 were reduced by 45% from 6.1 million. This is in line with what they've talked about in the past. HUT8 uses alternative sources of energy to reduce their energy costs, and also they were able to reduce their rental agreements to a record low, which means less outgoings, and it's great to see that this is having a material impact on their financials here. Another key highlight that I want to point out is that the net income before tax increased by 87% to 4 million from the prior year net income of 2.1 million. This is great news and shows us that the business is heading in the right direction. HUT8 is a ridiculously undervalued Bitcoin mining company, and the day they list on Nasdaq, the share price is bound to start climbing up and it's going to catch up to Riot. After all, they do have the highest amount of self-mined Bitcoins on their balance sheet across all publicly traded mining companies. And as if this wasn't enough, another exciting news came out recently. HUT8 to join Foundry USA pool adds 14,400 machines with 5,000 more to follow. To cater the needs of large mining customers such as HUT8, which currently holds more self-mined Bitcoins than any other publicly traded Bitcoin miner in the world, Foundry USA Pool offers miner treasury management services, an additional set of services that derive from the pool's seamless integration with DCG subsidiary Genesis. Among those services is an option to generate yield in Bitcoin on the mined BTC, which allows clients to maximize the overall BTC yield of their operations. Long story short, this will help increase their revenues further, which is great news for us investors. Personally, I'm long on HUT8. Is it risky? Hell yes. But if you believe in the Bitcoin story, then you simply cannot ignore HUT8. The next big catalyst would be when they uplist to the Nasdaq, which we don't know when that's going to happen, but another Canadian Bitcoin mining company, I believe it's Bitfarms, they've just announced that they are listing to the Nasdaq, so hopefully this puts some pressure on HUT8 and they can join the party. Once they uplist, the stock will get more attention and as a result more volume, and that should take it to new highs. Anyways guys, that's it from me. Have an awesome day and I'll see you in the next one.